We spoke with a bunch of fund managers, and let's present you the views of S. Naganath. He's the President and CIO of DSP BlackRock Investment Managers. Naganath is bullish 3 months down the line and even more bullish 3 years down the line. Let's hear him out.
I think the downside for the market, based upon the recent lows that we saw, I think that those 6,800 to 7,000 on the Nifty, for example, I think ought to be very strong supports. So, I'm looking at a very much higher level for the index, 2 to 3 years later, based upon all the expectations of growth that I outlined earlier. So very bullish over a 2-3 year period. For the next 12 months, I think, we'll have to see what the global cues are. But I think the support around that 6,800, 7,000, which we saw recently, ought to hold quite nicely. So you're keeping the deficit pretty much in line with earlier expectations of 3.5%. That's also another great outcome. For 2 years in a row, we've seen suboptimal rains resulting in lower rural demand. So I think all the measures aimed at, expending a lot of money in the rural sector, I think is the right approach. And third year in a row, they say that you've never had poor rains. So I'm quite hopeful that the monsoons this year will be normal. Coupled with the expenditure aimed at the rural sector, I think you'll see rural demand picking up quite nicely. So I think that will greatly add to the overall GDP growth rate.
All right, then the Nifty is still holding on to good gains. 25% of the Nifty's gains are coming on the back of IDC.